What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Getaway podcast. We're bringing you a little different episode, different environment. This time, it's our getaway out here at Paul and Skill. We're going to bring you a little different episode of our perspective on some psychedelics and what else?
And how psychedelics can help society.
Yeah. Just getting into kind of different some stuff. Yeah, what do you think?
Just hearing a lot about psychedelics being legalized and how they want to use it for medicinal purposes. Made me want to do more research, even though I've done psychedelics tons of times myself, so I don't really need too much research. But it's always interesting to see how psychedelics, and if we could all just, do them together, how it could bring more meaning to community, how it can maybe get people out of dark places, get people out of possibly like depression, get people out of drug addictions, alcoholism, and help people like face their problems in a different way.
Yeah. They say like people used to say like that's how you are supposed to think, and that's why they made it illegal, because the government doesn't want you thinking all like, that kind of stuff. And then you start to actually think once you're on that stuff, and you think deeper.
You think differently.
I was gonna say in different ways and stuff like that. Yeah.
It opens up a part of your brain that most people in their lifetime probably won't really open up. Even though if it doesn't. It doesn't, like, if you do it sometimes, it'll open it up, like, temporarily. But if you do psychedelics after a period of time, that part of your brain that's dormant does start opening up a lot more. So, and yeah. And I used to be a big microdoser.
Yeah.
And a massive macrodoser.
What's a micro dose? Like, how does that,
Like, a microdose is just taking, like, a little bit.
But what's a little bit? A little bit to some people is different. A little bit, is that just like a little, literally a little bit, or
like 2-3 caps?
Okay.
Like if you're doing shrooms, maybe like half a tab of acid,
half a gram, like something like that.
Yeah, like a little tab of acid. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's sold differently. Like you sell them by the tabs for acid, but the acid and shrooms, they kind of give you the different effects.
Yeah, and a lot of like doctors, like neuroscientists and doctors and just scientists and doctors do say that microdosing daily is actually helpful. That it helps bring sorry, there's a fucking bee. That it helps bring not only does it help with like people's like attentiveness, and it helps with their energy, but it also could help people be more productive throughout the day.
Yeah, like an antidepressant type of way almost, you're thinking differently, different perspectives,
and you want to do more things besides just like I feel like a lot of people now, like, they just go to work, go home, scroll on their phone, open up a beer or two, get some junk food, sit on the couch, watch TV, and then the day flies by.
And they do it all over.
And then they just go to sleep and wake up the next day and do the same thing. And I feel like, at least for me personally, when I'm on psychedelics, I don't even know where my phone is half the time.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm tripping and you're texting me, I will not answer you. I will answer you the next day, but while I'm on them, I promise you I don't know where my phone is.
And, like, why is that? Is that you think, like, because you want to kind of...
Because I want to do other things, yeah. I'd rather go on a hike, or go on a bike ride, or go on a walk, or go on a ride.
Now, do you think, like, you're more of, like a solitary person in general? Or, because, I mean, I like talking with people, obviously we got the podcast going and shit like that, but I like talking and stuff like that, so I can see, like, I've done psychedelics, not as much as you have, but, like, I from my perspective, I like being around people sometimes, but then there's also sides that you're like, nah, I just want to be by myself, you know what I mean? Especially if it's a little too strong, but, like, do you think it's, like, more of that? You'd be more, like, you kind of become more you, almost, you know what I mean? Like, you like that solitary and hikes and all that stuff, where some people kind of like a social setting, you think kind of like different for everybody?
Yeah, it just depends, I feel like not everybody can trip by themselves. I feel like not everybody's like always meant to trip on them by
mentally
themselves. Because it does make you, like, you just get lost in thoughts a lot, and sometimes you can get lost in, like, you get into like a rhythm of like a negative thought, and they're just negative thought after negative thought, and
some people don't know how to pull themselves out.
Yeah, like when you're tripping, you're really vulnerable, and sometimes you don't know how to pull yourself out of those negative thoughts. So it takes a lot of like mental strength to hallucinate.
Because so sometimes you need like an extra person there to kind of guide you. Especially if you've never really done it before. And
I would trip by myself if you're experienced. And you know that, like, if once you get in the negative train of thought, that you can bring yourself back. you know, but some people can't.
No.
Because you're like overly sensitive about things. Like everything. Like somebody will say something and like, since you're already, like when you're tripping, you're just constantly overthinking everything. You just think and then you overthink everything. So like somebody could just make a simple comment and you might take it seriously, or you might get sensitive about that comment and like you just think about it and you're just like, somebody might call you stupid and then you'll just think about it and be like, oh my God, like, am I really stupid? Is this how the world really perceives me? Like, am I really useless, you know? And it's like, no, dude, like, it's just a joke.
No.
But on psychedelics, sometimes you do tend to get more sensitive about things.
Now, how do you compare the psychedelics themselves? You know, like, you got, name a couple of them. You got obviously acid, shrooms. What else? Like, anything else like a DMT?
Like acid's probably more like energetic.
Energetic, okay.
Yeah, you do see like patterns and stuff.
Of psychedelics? There's DMT.
Well, there's like peyote.
Peyote.
DMT.
What's that? What's peyote?
Peyote, it's like a desert. It's like almost like a. I think it comes from like a cacti.
What's the drink? The ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
Right? There's
that's
that.
in Peru.
An ayahuasca trip you can do. And what's
then
DMT
is like earth.
Is salvia? That's another one that you can trip on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought the one dude on Joe Rogan.
Salvia you can trip really hard.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different ones, and they all have their different.
Now there's this one
properties
thing,
and
they do like toad venom.
Oh yeah, where they lick the toads.
No, they get
boil them
venom from a toad. Like they actually extract venom from the toad.
Yeah, I've heard of that one
too. And then they put it in their mouth, or they like mix it in with their weed.
I've heard of that. Where they make tea.
And there's one when you lick the toad.
Yeah, I've heard of that one too. Yeah, there's some interesting ways.
And they all like alter your mind.
Animal. I forget what kind of animal it was, but it was starting to lick the toads or eat the toads. Like it was like a something. I forget what it was, like a frog or something, or something else. But and they were like learning that I can get high. It was like something like something that climbed up in the trees, and they would literally lay in the trees and just chill there and like get high.
Yeah, there's like videos of like animals. They'll eat like shrooms in nature, and they're like hallucinogenic shrooms, and they're sitting there like rolling around the grass.
Yeah, you can tell there's something going on.
Yeah, you're like, that animal's not acting natural.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mean, you got like, you could even go back like kind of in the animal sense, like the stoned ape theory. You know what I mean? What do you think?
Yeah.
What's your perspective on that? Like, you think
that's probably what helped them evolve.
Yeah. So explain that for people listening. Like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I just think like that's what created like, because before it was just instinctual. I don't think they really had an open mind or really had
what was
thoughts.
It exactly? Like explain for people exactly what was it. It was
just basically what they say is like an ape or Neanderthal, whatever the hell it is, like
a caveman.
Caveman, something not fully educated, like ate a mushroom and then they hallucinated, and then their mind expanded, and then that's how they say that people are like, oh, we can create this, and we should live like this, and we should eat these types of foods, and not this, and you know.
You think those are now how
even
deep
languages? They learn how to create languages.
Like how deep do you think that goes though? You think it was just like some cow shit or whatever it was, just on the ground, and they kind of found it, ate it, and just experimented with it? Or do you think
they were told
by someone? Like, how conspiracy theory you think that is?
Yeah, like an alien.
Yeah.
There's no way that like. I mean, you could do trial and tribulation, be like, yeah, I'll eat this grass. I might die or I might not.
Yeah, because they ate vegetables back then, so maybe they just saw a mushroom growing somewhere and they just tried it and on a tree.
I feel like someone was like, yeah, if you like eat these herbs and you eat these specific things that are grown on Earth, these things will help expand your mind, and then you'll be able to like communicate with other things.
I think so too, man.
And I think they were like
to believe that for sure.
Yeah, I think they kind of got taught. Like, if you use these are mentally expanding, you'll expand a lot more. And then
open up a new world for
yourselves. And then the more they started doing it, they started becoming, more intelligent, more evolved.
Yeah, I think there's a big interesting theory on there, on the stoned ape.
Some of those people,
if you look at that today, then it's like, well, why don't we do that? Because it's like, if it helped them so much advance, like, what if we took that as a society, like you were saying, and like how much farther could we really advance? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's only if the government allows us to.
Yeah. Now, there are, like, some legal-ish loopholes, like some, like some of, like, the CBD stores, and they sell them, like, not exactly psilocybin, but they'll make you kind of trip. Like, not in the same sense, though. It's not in the same sense.
Those are like tapped by the government.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know,
so like
it's
if they open
them these days.
If they open like clinics and stuff, like psychedelic clinics to like help people, like those psychedelics that they get will be seen by like government agencies, like drug agencies.
It'll all be regulated,
they'll just
taxed, all that stuff.
And maybe they'll just legalize it just to, you know, they'll lace it and then they'll make it addictive. What they do up in Oregon,
it was
they legalized everything.
Everything?
Everything.
I wonder. Yeah.
So you just go there and literally smoke crack and it's legal.
That's crazy, honestly. If you think about
MDMA is legal.
Imagine telling someone that like 10, 20, whatever, how many years ago?
Well, I mean, that's why you go to Portland and everyone's fucking homeless.
Homeless and on the streets just like zombies, bro, yeah.
There's like communities of homeless people.
Yeah.
They're just taking over.
All on drugs, man. They're tripping. Who knows what they're seeing?
They just do the wrong drugs, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
They're like on meth and shit. And I'm like, bro, you could just do shrooms.
Yeah, those aren't necessarily psychedelics. Yeah,
no, those are just hardcore
depressants.
Yeah. Those are just like, I want to ruin my life. So here I go. But then there's places like Europe where they have like communities, like they create like little small like communities and in the woods and stuff, and they like shoot up heroin and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. There's communities. There's like
I could see that. Like, there probably is here. You just don't know.
There was one where the guy was in Norway, and there was a like an opioid field, like the plant to make heroin was grown,
really?
And they would go and like steal it, and then they'd run back to their community, and then they would make the heroin.
Wow.
And they would just shoot up there, and then they would, when the government came or police came, whoever, and kicked them out of that place, they just moved to another.
It's crazy.
They'd go to another like wooded area, and they would just shoot up heroin.
It's just a village of like they're just used to it all their lives.
That's what they want. That's what they chose to do with their lives, because they don't want to work because they're against social norms.
That's crazy.
So they don't follow rules. They don't really buy things. They don't really consume things. They don't work because they don't believe in working.
Yeah, it's really crazy how you think like how many societies are affected by it, and you don't even realize it. You know what I mean? Like everybody thinks it's all good, like whatever, like you know, weed's being.
And that's one thing. Like when you trip, like you don't care about. Like you tend to not care about things like that.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't care about. Like you're more in the moment, and your thoughts are different. You don't care about money. Like you could be poor as hell, and you get an eighth of shrooms and you eat that, and you'll forget that you're poor.
Yeah, I was gonna say
at least for like the 5-6 hours.
It's just that you're not as worried. Like it's not where your mind's on. It's your mind's on having a better time and just relaxing.
And they're just like, like money's stupid.
But you know it's still there.
Like money's an illusion.
Yeah, you know it's still there. You know it's always gonna be there. But then you kind of like rewire your brain to be like, you know, it's not that bad. Like I could do it. And you know, like, but some people, like you were saying before, they can go down that rabbit hole and they can really like get into a dark place. But so you got to watch that.
Like sometimes like psychedelics make you like really see at times in a positive way how like meaningless life actually is.
Nah, in a
how
weird
meaningless
way,
things are.
Yeah.
Like you brush your ass.
Yeah, not life. How meaningless things are.
I mean, life is meaningless. The only thing that puts meaning to it is you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, life has a meaning, but it's the things in life that people put too much meaning on, like you know, bills and stress and this and that. It's like I was talking to our boss the other day how they had the Greek Easter, and it's like every holiday for families, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, they always become about like stress, and it's not like a holiday. It's supposed to be a time of like relaxing and chill, and like but every family stresses about it. So it's like. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, but on a daily basis. So if you take psychedelics or like a microdose or however you do it, but like your problems are still there, but like you're just good. You know what I mean? Like you're like I'm all right. Like it just like makes you think different. You know what I mean? Like at least like I haven't done a ton at least, but like you're still there, but you're just kind of relaxing and you figure out how to think a little differently almost.
Yeah, and you just like enjoy things because eventually you're gonna die, and then you're not gonna be anything.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, I might as well make the best of it because one day I'm gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
So
it makes you live in the moment. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So why don't you go through like some crazy like what's a crazy experience you've had? What's one of the crazier experiences? I know you probably got some good stories. That's for sure.
Yeah, not a lot. They're not like crazy, like something crazy happened, but
Well, give
One
people
time
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, one time I did like too much. Like I did like way too much shrooms. Like I did a lot of shrooms, and I kept like, and I like turned the AC on in my room and just like shut all the lights off and just like laid on my bed with my eyes closed, and I kept seeing like not only like these intense patterns, but like the patterns were like every pattern I would see was like it was like a spirit or something, or like a different.
Yeah,
it was like a human.
A super visual.
It was like a super. It was like a different being.
Intense visual effects you got on that one. Yeah. It wasn't just like you're high for the first couple times. When you get high, you kind of has this like, you know, I remember when I was the first couple times I smoked, I thought I was like in a video game, and I thought I was high as hell, boy.
You feel like you're like in a cartoon.
But with this, it's more like you're literally seeing stuff.
No, yeah, and they're
it's a whole different ball game.
Communicating. Like I was like talking to these things, and they were talking back.
Yeah,
and they were like,
but not in a scary way, right? Like for
it was like,
you know, like
it was like if you would see like an angel.
It's not like you don't want to scare people off and that kind of thing. Like even if you've done too much, but you're just getting a more powerful experience than if you did a little bit.
Yeah, it was like a being from like a different. It was like beings from a different dimension.
But still, like you were saying before, a calming sense of mind. Like it wasn't. Like I could hear people or see people like hearing that and kind of freaking out.
I've never had like a bad trip.
Never had a bad trip.
Not yet.
Nah.
Not yet.
Yeah, I know you've done it a lot. I haven't.
I'm gonna say not yet because one day it can come. I've had times where I've just gotten caught up in like negative thoughts, but then I was able to like pull myself out. But as far as having like a bad trip, like thinking that someone's following me or thinking that someone wants to kill me or something,
that'd be scary.
I've never had that.
Yeah.
So I've heard some people's experiences
like
that
a visual something, you know what I mean? Like you get like almost like a nightmare, but like when you're awake.
Yeah.
Nothing like
that. I've heard people that have had that they think people are following them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and like an acid and shrooms, I mean, ton different or not very similar, or what are we talking here? I mean,
those shrooms are way more relaxing.
Yeah.
And even like you just feel relaxed on shrooms. I feel like
more appreciative.
Yeah, I mean, on acid you feel good. You're just more hyped up.
Yeah, your brain's just going.
Like on acid, you just want to be like, I want to go on a hike, and I want to ride a bike, and I want to go swimming and go kayaking. When you're on shrooms, you're just like, I just want to sit and just stare at the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just enjoy your time. Yeah, where acid is like you just want to experience as much of life as you can, almost like.
Yeah, just
and how different it is.
It just gets you going more.
Then, I mean. Okay, so what do you prefer? Got a preference?
I don't really think I have a preference.
No?
I could do either of them at any point.
I could see you being a shroom
and just
guy.
fit. I mean, shrooms, because I like to just sit there and do nothing and just watch. Yeah. So, probably shrooms.
I can see that more for you. Where, honestly, I should be more of a shrooms guy because I'm so active normally, but acid, I mean...
But acid is fun.
Acid is fun, man, because you see some different perspectives. I'll tell you what, like... Someone told me to look in the mirror one time when I was on it.
That's a terrible idea. Whoever told you that is a horrible friend.
Nah, it was cool. It was cool.
I'm telling you. An asshole.
No, because you had like this crazy perspective on like at least if you're in a good mood. Maybe if you're in a bad setting, don't do it. Don't do a lot of things if you're in a bad setting. But if you're in a good setting and you just like look in the mirror and you're like, holy shit, like that's me right there. You have like this crazy
one time I did acid and I went to a club. And, like, the lights were just going crazy, and people's faces were just, like, deforming.
Okay, well, that's a little scary.
And then I went to the bathroom, and, like, I would, like, wash my hands, and I washed my face, and when I looked up, like, my face was, like, melting and deforming.
Yeah, I took
and, like, I couldn't stare at people's faces, because it was, like, they were turning into, like, zombies, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, their faces were just, like, really weird and skinny and
that's worse
very,
than
very defined.
Spirits, I would say.
Like, overly defined faces. Like, I could see their pores. And, like, really see their cheekbones and stuff. And I was like, God, everyone here's cheekbones are very intense right now.
Everyone's a model in this thing. Like, why does everyone look like Tom Brady or something?
Although one thing to me is when people try and have conversations with you when you're tripping and it just does not work.
Yeah, you got it. Well, you can't have a conversation with someone tripping unless you're tripping. Like, you got to be on the same level, bro. Like, on the same, like, if you're on the same level as someone and you're tripping and then you can, like, experience the moment itself together, that's cool. But if you're talking to someone sober and they don't get what you're going through, it's hard to explain it. It's not, you know what I mean?
I just don't like when people talk a lot in general, and then when you're tripping and they talk to you, it's just like, dude, shut up. Like, shut the hell up. I don't even know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what you're saying. And they ask you a question, and they're like, oh, you're not answering my question. I'm like, because I don't know what your question was. Like, just leave me alone, please. I don't want to. I can't do this right now. This is too much for me.
Nah, it's good. Yeah, like you said, you got to be just in a positive mindset.
Yeah.
It's alright.
I would 110% prefer to just sit there and just stare at shit and not say anything. That's way better.
I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, it kind of brings out more of you, you know, like if that's like what, how you like to do, like just naturally and stuff like that. Yeah.
It like peels back your layers.
Yeah, I would say so. Like some people think like when you drink, the real side of you comes out, you know what I mean? The truth comes out, this and that. It's like, yeah, no. Like a dumber truth comes out, you know what I mean? Like you do some dumb shit when you're drunk.
Yeah, man. When you're drunk, you do dumb stuff.
Yeah, so that's not the real you. That's the drunk you. Yeah, okay. But when you like say you're on shrooms and you're just kind of sitting there, relaxed and just thinking, you figure out you know? Like
yeah,
you can figure out some things that you like and don't like and stuff like that. A lot better, like for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
You gotta like remember them, take them kind of like take that lesson with you when you come out of it. And that's important, but it definitely like teaches you a few things. That's for sure.
Yeah, it does. It teaches you a lot about like the world, the universe, energies, and yourself.
Yeah.
And then you are like everything. You are like the entire universe and the flesh, and the fleshmobile. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
you basically are like you're like experiencing yourself.
Yeah, perspective is huge, and like it gives you a kind of like a new one almost. Perspective will change your life.
Yeah,
you have a new perspective on things. It'll change everything for you. You know,
and that's a good thing. It makes you connected to everything.
Yeah,
like you feel like you're connected to like the trees and the plants and the rocks and the water.
Mm-hmm. Appreciative. Like you appreciate a tree, even though before you just thought it was a tree. Like who cares? But you're like, this tree's actually like helping me to survive, and you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. Like
this tree is a friend.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's funny, but it's like it's cool when you actually do it. It's different.
Yeah, but it just sucks because most people like don't even notice stuff. They just kind of life just kind of passes them by.
Yeah,
and then they're like 70, and they're like, I never really did anything besides just work all the time because I just wanted to attain as much money as I could, and try to do all these things that didn't make me happy, but I just wanted to make money because I wanted to be like sustainable and be successful. But then they only do all those things because like they don't want to be successful like by their own definition. They want to be successful by the definition of others. Because they think like people only become like you only buy a giant house and 20 cars just to look better than the other people. But success would just be like, yeah, I'm fine with just I get to do what I like. I make a little bit of money.
Well, success is everyone's definition.
I get some food, I can get something to drink, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And then other people are like, oh, I want to have a massive mansion. So it's like...
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like sometimes it's just a show off.
Yeah.
You don't need it. You could have a fuck ton of money, but... I mean, you could just go and rent a fucking Bugatti and be like, yo, just drive it around.
Yeah.
Just to see what it feels like.
I don't know.
I can't lie. If I was rich like that, I would just be like, I'd just drive it around just to know what it feels like.
I would do it. I would do it for me.
Maybe I
have a nice house, nice cars, and you do it for your family. You
have like one really nice car, and just be like, I just want to know what it feels like.
You don't have to do it for like other people that are watching. I mean, yeah, like it makes you look good and all, but like that's not for them. It's for you. At the end of the day, if you do it for them, then you're never going to be happy at the end of the day. You're never going to be because you're always chasing someone else's vision and stuff like that. You got to chase your own.
At the end of the day, those are just material things. Don't really mean anything. I mean, that car will be cool for a little bit, and then you'll just eventually get used to it, and then you just want another car.
Yeah.
And then you'll get used to your house and be like, I want another house.
Yeah, but that's life. You got to enjoy it. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else? Anything else on the mind?
No, I think we've been pretty good into the psychedelics.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I think they're saying by 2025 they'll try and legalize it and open up. I mean, legalize it medicinally at least. And they'll try and open up clinics to like get people with like mental health issues or like addictions or something. Get them to go to these clinics and see if they can help them with that. Other countries have already like tested it, and people have gone to labs and stuff, or they go to like therapists, and the therapists they do sessions where they make them eat like a little bit of like shrooms, or they make them eat, or they'll make them like take a little bit of like DMT or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And they'll just like test their minds and stuff like that, and see how, you know, how the drugs help them mentally. This has pulled people out of like dudes that were heavy alcoholics. It has pulled them out of drinking and you know, changed their life around.
Oh yeah, I think it could for sure.
I mean, if I could do that to people like that, imagine if everybody would just do it. You know, maybe it could change a whole country.
Yeah. What do you think if Drake and Kendrick did it?
Oh, Kendrick's diss would be way better.
You think it'd be even better?
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. You never know. Drake might get creative actually, and actually write a song for himself.
Yeah, but if Drake would get creative, imagine Kendrick's creativity.
Yeah, I know.
Kendrick's already way more creative.
We don't need J. Cole doing it. J. Cole already does it the way he looking. You know what I mean? Like
J. Cole will apologize.
Yeah, J. Cole.
Maybe I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, you do you, bro.
I love you guys.
Yeah, I think Drake, bro. Imagine Drake on Psychedelics. He'd be in his feels. Oh, Drake.
No, I can't take another Drake song in his feels.
He'd be overthinking as hell, man.
I just really don't like people that just in general write songs and complain about women.
Yeah, but it sells.
It's like you can write one song and be like, "Oh, she broke my heart," but this motherfucker's like the whole album. I'm like, bro, just shut up, bro.
Nah, that's
you sound like a bitch.
Yeah.
You sound like you're a pussy.
All right. Yeah.
Well, how about I like slap that hoe?
Anything else you want to get off in this episode?
Kendrick's the best rapper of our generation, and he beat Drake. I don't care.
All right,
I don't care what any of you Drake boys say.
All right. Anything else?
That's it. That's all. That's all we got time for today, guys. Because we're gonna enjoy the outdoors, as you can see.
Yeah, we're gonna bring you a different spot every time. Try to keep it different, you know. Occasionally, maybe sports episodes, we'll go back to the house and stuff.
Yeah,
but
so
we're gonna keep them different. You know, stay tuned.
Try and give you a new scene
stuff
every time.
Yeah,
a new background, so you guys can see what we like to do, and you guys can feel like you're part of us on our getaway.
We're gonna give you our getaway. This is our little getaway here at Ballskill. It's a nice spot.
This is one of our plenty getaways that we have.
Yeah, around this area.
But we'll show you guys more.
North New Jersey area. Yeah, a lot of stuff. I know people are asking where we were at.
A lot of outdoor stuff.
Yes. Not much else to do, but we got the outdoors, that's for sure. So
this is the getaway.
Psychedelics.
This is the getaway, our way to connect. Thank you guys, and we will see you guys next time. We love you. Peace.
Thanks,